I just sitting here having a Waterloo. Eh, it's not sugary and going to drive up my A1C and stuff like that, but I would tell you what drove up my blood pressure today, made me even more sick. Here Clemson is. They're on a bye this week. Next week, they're going to go up to Chapel Hill and play against Bill Belichick and that thing that's going on up there with North Carolina. And so I'm sitting here watching college football as a whole. In fact, as soon as I get done with this video, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to watch Oregon at Penn State. We got Alabama at Georgia. I'm going to go watch that and then peruse around other games. But today I've been doing a lot of perusing, and it bothered me because the very same Syracuse team that came into Clemson last week and was up by 20 points. Yes, Steve Angeli got hurt. Yes, that's a big deal. But remember, Steve Angeli got hurt, I want to say, in the third quarter. So his backup came in, did throw one touchdown. I do remember that. They lost. Syracuse today at home. Yes, the same team that beat the crap out of Clemson last week in Death Valley went home, played Duke, and lost by over 30 points. Yeah. Not joking. For real. They lost. I'm pulling up the score right now. 38-3. They scored 3 points, by the way, in the first quarter. It was embarrassing. And then it really got interesting. Georgia Tech was down, I want to say, by 17 points to Wake Forest. Georgia Tech held on in overtime and won by 1 point. 1 point. By the way, I saw Wake Forest play Haynes King better than we played them. I don't know what to say to you. So then it gets rich. By the way, Wake Forest had 443 yards against them. Georgia Tech had 411. It was crazy. And then you're going to love this. The greatest team to ever touch a college football field, the LSU Tigers, played Lane Kiffin, the Bill Clinton of college football, in Oxford. And you're going to be shocked. Lane's team actually played with fervor and aggressiveness, on the offensive side of the football. Had 480 yards against that all-world defense that we heard about. No, it was just that Clemson's offense just can't get it together. No matter whose fault it's to. That's just what it is. And you're gonna wet your drawers when you hear this one. Get ready for the room to smell like pee. They only allowed 254 yards. Ole Miss only allowed LSU to 254 yards. And Ole Miss beat them. So, why would I do this video? I'll tell you why I would do this video. Is that out of the 3 teams that has beat Clemson so far this season, 2 of them lost today. All 3 of them should have lost today. But 2 of them lost today. One was embarrassed, and then the other one, well, out of the 3, I said that 2 lost and 1 should have lost. That was Georgia Tech. They came back. It is what it is. They can't keep doing that. I'm going to say that. I like Brent Key. I like what he's doing there. But today they proved to me that they have a fatal flaw. They can't focus. And they have an easy road to the ACC championship. Like, their hardest games are behind them, except for Georgia. And last time I checked, they're in the SEC. But Syracuse, even with a backup quarterback, should have not lost by 35 points to Duke at home. Shouldn't have happened. Because that backup quarterback played a significant amount of time in the second half that actually gave Clemson the chance to come back. And we couldn't. And then LSU, I said this, and LSU fans got, some of them didn't take it this way, but of course, LSU fans, they're confident. I wished I had half the confidence that a lot of the LSU fans have. I really do. I understand Alabama fans being that way because they just have championship after championship just stacked up over in the corner. They have so many of them. LSU, not so much. Not so much. They have in what they lack in championships, not all of their fans, but a lot of them. I've got some good LSU fans here. You know who you are. And we've interacted and it's fine. But the rest of them, what they lack in championships, they make up in trash talk and being self-conceited. I told them that it was going to be very interesting to see how LSU would respond to an offense that would actually go after them and not be scared of them. By the way, the guy who led Ole Miss to the victory today, this was his second start. So he's filling in for, I believe it's Austin Simmons, a guy who's hurt, who started out having an incredible season. This guy was playing D2 football last year at Ferris State, if you've ever heard of it. Yeah. And he went into this massive game, didn't get shook up, didn't work. No, the guy went in and balled against LSU. That's who beat LSU. So if LSU says, oh, well, Caden Durham, our starting running back, he was out. I think he was out. You got to understand that you just got beat by a guy who was playing basically in front of 5,000 or less fans per game last year. That's who just beat you. The guy looked good, but I'm just saying a lot of people, that stage would have been too big for them. So if you are enjoying your bye week and you're a Clemson fan, you need to know that out of the 3 teams that beat you, all 3 of them should have lost, and 2 of them did. One of them got emasculated. And the other one, who it was just the biggest game on the earth. You knew it was coming for months, but you still couldn't. I mean, it was just somehow Ole Miss, they can do it. And what it comes down to is Lane Kiffin, whether you like him or not, Lane Kiffin can coach. And in Clemson right now, we just don't have the coaches across the board to do what we need. We really don't. And so, if you run into anyone who ever says, well, you know what, I don't, maybe a few coaches could be changed, but overall, I think I'm happy with our coaching staff. If Coach Sweeney says I'm happy with our coaching staff, point back to 1-3. And I mean, I'm not the one who made that record up. I'm not. And it just is what it is. But it's very interesting. I'm going to get in here to the comment section and say hello to a few people, and then I'm going downstairs to watch. You are on a roll, Professor. The big question is, can we get our attitudes right, or are we cooked? We're cooked. We're cooked. And when fans believe in you and you have the roster that this team has, if the fans or the coaches, or not the fans, if the players and or the coaches, especially the coaches, come out and go, well, people need to believe in us. We did believe in you. What are you talking about? We did believe. Every time Clemson fans believe in Clemson, they want all of this belief in the football team and the coaches and this, that, and the other. And then, I mean, things happen like it's been going on, and then they get mad at us for not believing. We did believe. I think we're cooked, my friend. I think we are cooked. And Big John, thanks for supporting on a monthly basis. I appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Hey, by the way, if you like what I'm doing here, folks, I'm going to ask you to do 2 things that are free. First, if you're watching me all the time, you're not subscribed. If you like what I'm doing, I hope you'll subscribe. It's free. Next up, if you're watching me all the time but you don't like me, are you a glutton for punishment? Seriously, I'm not being a jerk here. I don't sit and watch people all the time that I don't like. I really don't. I have limited time on this earth. I'm just not going to waste it as much as I possibly can with someone I don't like. So if you like what I'm doing, I hope you'll subscribe. And next up, I hope you'll pass along in your forums, Facebook, whatever it is. And that's how the channel grows. So I do appreciate it. And also, I have another channel called Another College Football Podcast. The link, I don't know if it's below here, but that channel is only a few months old. If that, it's already starting to grow. Good things. Finally, it's starting to grow a little bit. Y'all go over there if you love talking college football as a whole. And yeah, I've already done a video talking about LSU being upset, or not really upset by, it's seen as an upset, but I can't really say that, by Ole Miss. Army. What about Mississippi State Bulldogs tied up with Tennessee? Yeah, it's, I'm just looking at the score now. It's tied. It's crazy. I mean, it's really, really crazy. I know right now that, you got Oregon and Penn State's already kicked off, Alabama and Georgia. It's going to be interesting to see how these games go. But if you watch my channel, folks, my new channel, Mississippi State and Tennessee, was one of the games that I previewed, and I said, this has upset written all over it. Jeff Lebby used to work for Josh Heupel, and I'm telling you, folks, they're much improved in Starkville. I called this one. Yeah, Jeff Lebby can coach football. These guys going to the portal and bringing in players, okay, wonderful. But who's going to coach those players? And Jeff Lebby is one of those guys who can coach those players. Have we lost to bye week community college? Actually, there was a scrimmage today against Tri-County Tech. It was in the parking lot of the food line above the school. It's up there. I think it's near Bill Mooney's place, 1790 Knife and Tool. By the way, while I'm on here, I got to tell y'all this. So I did, and Roger Parks, thanks for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. I'm going to throw this out there, folks. And I meant to close this week, but I did the giveaway. I partnered with 1790 Knife and Tool and gave away 3 expensive knives. All right. I gave away 3 of them. And Bill was the one. Bill came to me and said, hey, I'll do a giveaway for you, And that was very kind of him. First place responded, and we sent them the knife. I received an email from Matt this week. Matt said some very kind words. But second place and third place, they have not responded. In fact, we don't even have the proper contact information. Well, when Bill reached out to one of them, I can't remember which one it was. We'll just say one's name was Steve. And when he called the number that was on file, it said Arnold. So, folks, I've tried. If you're watching and you know that you won second or third place, we tried to reach out to you. You better respond fast, because I'm going to have to pick another second and third place, because Bill has 2 unbelievable knives there. And I'm going to have to go through my forms again. I'm going to have to pick, but I picked the top 3, and they were good ideas. And second and third place has not responded. We can't even get in touch with them. So if you are that person, you need to email us. You need to email us. You need to reach out to us. 1799 for Tool. My email is on my channel, so you can go find that and send it to me. All right, the shot in the dark, but they didn't have the quarterback. I don't know which one you're talking about, my friend. Tennessee about to be in their second overtime game in a row. Yeah, that's a toughie. That's a toughie when you do that. Yeah, that's nuts. Let's see, going on down. They must have had the big head by beating Clemson. Tony Cheek. I'm done loyalty picking my Tigers. Clemson needs a major overhaul. Yep. Even worse than I thought. John Doe. Sorry. Probably means nothing. Probably. Hey, it probably you're right, Carl. I don't know in what way you meant that, but I get exactly what you're saying. I think that Clemson could lose the rest of the season, every game, and pull a Florida State from last year, and I don't think it's going to change a thing, Carl. I agree with you. And folks, y'all think I'm joking? Not really. I'm not. Ole Miss should make the college football playoffs with their schedule. Let me see. Number 2 is polishing his plastic Heisman Trophy replica and looking at his beauty in the mirror. Shots fired by Big John. Big problem with our head coach right now. He's talking like he's bigger than Clemson. There are some people who definitely sees and says that. Not saying we deserve it, but how does this Florida FSU loss affect Clemson if they were to win out? Right now, Carter, if Clemson wins out, a lot of teams would have to fall. And I'm going to say this, Carter, and I swear to you, my friend, I'm not being a jerk to you, but we need to get something through our heads in the Clemson community that one of the worst things that ever happened to us was getting into the ACC championship game last year because Fran Brown beat Miami. We didn't earn it. We didn't. Getting that 10th win in another ACC championship in a game that we blew the lead, and it took a freshman kicker kicking an NFL style kick to win the game, and then going on and losing by 14 in the opening round of the college football playoff, and then acting like we were something big. That's the worst thing that ever happened to us. The worst thing. And we don't need to sniff a bowl game this year if it's going to give any encouragement to something. The only encouragement that needs to be given is that things need to change in Clemson. You need to basically get rid of the entire position coaching staff, and I don't think Garrett's coming back. Now, the thing I pause with Garrett, if Garrett's being influenced to call a certain way by Coach Swinney, we're going to owe him a massive apology. So that's why I pause there. But if I'm going to make a bold statement here, if things will be fixed in Clemson by them losing every game for the rest of this season, and then it makes it perfectly clear to Coach Swinney the things that needs to happen at the school, and he actually goes and does it, and then we reap the fruits of that labor. I hope they lose every ball game. If that wakes them up and stops and gets them out of this mindset that, oh, yes, we're still elite. No, you're not elite. You haven't been elite for a while. Your schedule has actually been a friend to you. And the coaching staff that got you that impressive 6-year run of consecutive playoffs and 2 national championships out of 3 years, that coaching staff doesn't exist at Clemson anymore. It hasn't in a long time. About the time that Clemson started doing this. So if Clemson goes and wins the rest of their games, but it gives a false sense of accomplishment and we never really get any better. No, I don't think, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope sometimes bad things have to happen for you to realize how bad things are and that you truly need change. And that's how I view Clemson right now. What changed Dabo after the 2010 season? He took responsibility and promised to fix it. Listen to him now. That's what worries me. I love Coach Swinney. I'm not going to go through this. I've said Dabo doesn't need to be fired. Dabo is his coaching staff. He's happy with the results of this coaching staff. I mean, I don't know what 1-3 would make you happy about. Syracuse played their Super Bowl last week. Yes, there was a drop-off after that. I always remember these are 18, 19-year-old kids. You never know what they're going to do. Yeah, I mean, I get that, Mike, but Clemson is just, yeah. Looks like Tennessee just scored. I think Tennessee just scored, so maybe they're going to get out of this. Let me see. Will Jones. Brian, we need Bobby back. You never know. Whatever happened to Bobby Durkins? Please bring Bobby back. You never know. One possible contributing factor to the Tech-Wake Forest game, Wake had 16 days off prior to the game to prep for Tech, and it showed in the first half. Maybe so, but Georgia Tech, they have – did you see the record? Brent Key's record versus like AP top 25 or something like that versus unranked opponents. He has an unbelievable record against AP top 25. His record against unranked opponents is like 500. So what that tells me is they get up for the big games and then they lose sight that a loss is a loss no matter whether it's a big game or a small game. And in fact, a loss in a small game is more insulting to your football team, and it's more debilitating to the growth and the perception of your program. And I said it this morning before the game kicked off. I said, we're going to see if they're going to focus. You can go watch my video from this morning. You can hear where I said that verbatim. That they have a focus issue. We lost Brent. Man, destroyed our culture. Dabo has just become complacent over the years. Hate to tell some people this. Dabo is our guy as long as he wants to be. I get what you're saying there, and I don't want Dabo to be fired. I don't want that at all. But the guy does have a lot of football in him. I agree with him. But what type of football is this going to be? Is this going to be football that you're always talking about, that run that you had, but you really can't talk about right now? Or is this going to be football that he steps up and he says, you know what? I realize what's going on here. I'm going to bring in the best coordinators, the best offensive. I'm going to let Tom Allen bring his guys in from top to bottom. Whoever Tom Allen wants to bring in for the defensive staff, top to bottom, he gets the call. I trust him. I trust my hire. You either trust your hire or you don't. Offensively, I'm going to bring in the best offensive mind in the country that is winning big games against big teams. And I'm going to let him be and allow him to bring in his staff that he knows can get the job done. And I'm going to let them work. I'm going to let them do. If he does that, Dabo Swinney will go out wildly, even more successful than now. If he doesn't and he keeps on this path, the win-loss is going to continue to go down. And you're right. You cannot fire a guy who won those national championships. You're going to have to let him burn it down. So, Mike Gundy for OC. No. Brian, I was watching Jordan Bowman's show the other day, and I called that we'd start getting decommits. We already lost one from the 2026 cycle. Yeah, Dre Quinn. I think it's Dre Quinn. Guy out of Buford, Georgia, one of the most well-known high schools in the United States, has a ton of talent. He decommitted day before yesterday. It's big. Yep, it's crazy. All right, folks, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to watch Alabama and Georgia. I'm going to check out what's that other team? Yeah, those other two teams. Oregon at Penn State. Y'all take care of yourself. Pass this along. If you hadn't subscribed, I hope you will. It is free. Pass it along to all your buddies in your forums. Y'all be good.